back on the Winnebago, and we're about to sump the gas tank because we had to do fuel injected things with it, and it was for a carburetor. So we have this apparatus hooked up, and we are filling the gas tank with diesel fumes from a 1968 Mercedes diesel. The purpose of this is it displaces all of the oxygen in the gas tank, and if there's no oxygen, it can't light on fire and kill all of us. That's the theory. We'll test this in a few seconds. There's the finished sump. I put some epoxy paint on it. This bracket we're going to hang the fuel pump on. We're getting ready to put it back in the RV. And here's the original feed to the mechanical pump. And then this was a evap return from the charcoal canister. So we're going to run the return into this one because it's just a like 90-degree 1/8-inch pipe plug. And I'm probably just going to plug this one because I don't really want to try and force fuel back through the sending unit. It might not like it. Where this one I know just dumps in the tank. Some more got accomplished today. Started kind of roughing in the wiring harness. It's a PSI wiring harness. Drive-by-wire. And it has the appropriate connections and such for the electronic throttle cable that we put in. So yeah, I started doing that. We got an ECU plate that we're going to mount behind the engine because it's kind of very open back there. That's where the computer's going to go. The turbo is mounted, I think, for real this time. All the bolts are in it, gaskets in it. And we made the exhaust system. It's just 3-inch mandrel. There you can see the fitting for the oxygen sensor. I'll show you some other views. There it is coming out of the turbo. Corey, who owns the motorhome, his regular thing he does, these eBay GT45s have like a goofy size V-band on them. They're like 3 3/4 or something. So he just welds the reducer down to 3-inch and then welds the V-band back here. So then you can get a more commonly sized V-band. So that explains why it's welded to the turbo. So there's a V-band that goes down behind the motor and goes under the motorhome. There it goes. After it goes there to another V-band. Then it's a straight shot all the way back. Then there's a 45 and it exits right here to a little dump right in front of the wheel well. So yeah, goes a good length. Probably the whole pipe length. I mean, it's probably 20 feet if you lay it out straight. And there's no muffler, but between the turbo and how long the pipe is, it shouldn't be that loud. Thing I didn't show you the gas pedal. We shortened a factory, I don't know, Silverado pedal. Had to cut like 3 or 4 inches out of it, which made it kind of stubby. And we took, there's few springs in here. We disconnected, I think, 2 out of 3 of them. So now there's enough. It's like a proper pressure. So when you shorten the arm, it's going to get harder to push. The amount of springs they had on there were, reflective of like probably a 6-inch throw on the arm. But there's your accelerator pedal position sensor, which will get wired into this harness. I think we said we still need a TAC module to communicate with everything. And the gas tank is reinstalled, the primary one. We left the auxiliary one in. If I didn't explain that right, I'll show you eventually what we're going to do with that. But you can see the sump is installed, facing inward, where we're going to run the pump. Just didn't get a chance to do that today. Here's the inboard view. So there's where the fuel lines will hook up. Right now there's just pipe plugs in there to keep junk out of it. But the fuel pump's either going to go on here, or we can probably just mount it on the straps here too. You can see how the exhaust pipe runs all fancy. Actually turned out pretty good. And then the other thing that seems kind of simple but got done is that Corey managed to get the factory motorhome shifter to work with the 4L80. Just required drilling some holes, making a bracket there, but it shifts through. It just only goes on the 3rd gear. So you have park, reverse, neutral, drive, 3rd, which isn't really that big of a deal because, I mean, I don't think you're manually shifting this thing. As long as you can kick it down one gear to maybe pass someone or go over a mountain, you're fine. And then we wired the GM neutral safety switch here, which does all kind of functions in stock form, into the 3-wire neutral safety of the Dodge transmission, which that's all you need in this. It's just going to be one's power in, the one gives you the signal to start. I don't know what the colors, but one of them gives a signal to start if it's in park or neutral, and then the third one is your reverse lights. If I'm pointing at the wrong colors, I'm sorry, but you know, I don't know which one's which, but that's the functions that they perform. All the rest of these wires we aren't going to be using in this switch. So I know it's kind of a short update, but actually a lot got done. This is actually 2 weekends combined of working on it. So what you did see that I just pointed out to you is actually a lot of labor. So it is coming along. Not a lot of major stuff left, but I'll make another update video when anything does happen.